Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Beneath the Dark Sun. I'm Dylan Prober. I am the Dungeon Master, and I'm going to be running this game for all my interweb friends. -1 today. Johnny had some real-world issues and is going to be not joining us today, but he will join us next time. In the meantime, if this is your first stream, welcome. If you're coming back, awesome. Also, if it's your first stream, please follow the actual channel so that we can get our goal of 50 so that we can unlock all the fun stuffs. And I think Nathan went to do his pizza because he said it was going to arrive soon. So Nathan will be back. So until then, let's start at where we normally start with Heidi. How you doing, Heidi?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Very awesome. So what are you playing?
I am rocking my elf warlock.
Nice. And below Heidi is Brad. Brad, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing all right. And how's that half-elf bard of yours?
Oh, he's not too bad.
All right.
Just trying to find some spells for him.
Well, yes. Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Normally it would be Johnny, so now we're moving to Sam. Sam, how you doing?
I'm dead.
Well,
Dead.
your character is, and we're gonna resolve that. Don't you worry. We're gonna resolve that. But otherwise, how are you doing, Sam? How do you feel?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Awesome. All right, Nathan, did you get your pizza?
No, I did not get my pizza, but ready to smite some things in my mole enforcer, ready to do.
All right, awesome. And Joe, moderator, elf monk extraordinaire, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Awesome.
See
Okay.
how things turn out with Sam.
Yes. We're
Cut
all
me
gonna
off.
find
Well,
out.
whatever.
So, a couple of things. Everybody did level up. They're now currently level 5, and if you want any more information, check out the nifty D&D Beyond overlay. It's all at your fingertips. We even got Nathan added on there now, and his says that he's an half-orc monk, but since the Dark Sun has not been official in 5e yet, he is still a mole. He's just using half-orc stats because they basically have the same stats. So, apart from that, last episode, our brave band of adventurers traveled to the city of South Ladopolis. And there, they talked with some dwarves, had a little bit of a good cop, bad cop exchange with a dwarf analyst that didn't go so well. But they were able to find out that the bridge is almost complete. It's I think the last report that they heard was like 75% complete, which means the whole half between South Ladopolis and the island is complete, and they're about more or less halfway done with the rest of the bridge that goes all the way to the North Ladopolis. So, while in that center island, they were inquiring about the population of half-giants that, should be roaming the area, but nobody's seen higher hair of for 3 weeks, which was a familiar time frame for some of the party. And when they went to go investigate the actual island, they found a cave. And in this cave, they found the corpse of 2 dead half-giants, and they found the eggs of, well, they were half-giants at one, full giants, not half-giants. They were full giants at one point, but when they hatched from the eggs, they became these mind flayer giants, essentially. And after a ferocious battle, as some people hinted at the beginning, Sam's character unfortunately perished.
Yeah.
Yes. So, that's the catch-up, and of course, if I missed any details, of which there are many details that I didn't even go over, much less even forgot to mention, you can always watch past episodes on videos in the video section on this channel, or they are all on my YouTube channel as well, which is also linked in the About Us below. So, now, let's begin. And I know everyone's anxious to find out what happened about Sam, but Sam, I'm going to pause just for a little bit. I'm going to deal with him first, and then I'm going to come to you. I promise we'll get to you.
Nope, it's good.
Okay, so after the battle is cleared, you're basically in this cave, and you now have 3 corpses of these weird giant things with like octopus heads, and of course the 2 original decaying ones that you saw when you first came in. So everyone give me a perception check. That's the one I'm going with.
1.
Ooh.
Chonk doing me dirty.
12 plus 6. I got an 18, sir.
Okay.
25.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Go hiding. Okay, so anybody who rolled above a 15, which I think a few of you did, definitely Heidi, will notice that along the edges of the cavern walls, kind of like behind the eggs, you see a whole just like stack of like stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff are just like piled there. It's like basically everything that the presumably that these giants have been stealing from the dwarves for however many years. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff down here. Now, when you go through most of it, the majority of it's kind of like, just kind of trade goods, nothing like really exceptional. Like a supply of like tools, stacks of wood, some cut stone, some like raw stone, different sorts of like fabrics and stuff like that for like cloth repairs and whatnot. Rope, lots of rope. But there's also a handful of like important things, and basically each one of you find basically something special, like you're going through, because I'm just assuming that you're gonna go like you're gonna go digging through and
See what it is.
yeah, see what's what and all that other kind of stuff. So we'll start again kind of in the same thing. Heidi, here
Yes.
you find a wand.
Yeah,
It's a wand.
buddy.
And so go on your character sheet on D&D Beyond. It's all at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And go to equipment. And then manage equipment. Click the manage equipment button. And on that little thing that pops up on the side,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to search for Wand of the War Mage.
Ooh.
1, 2, or 3.
A +1. You get the +1 version.
Damn it.
What? That's nice. It gives you a +1 to your spell hit, a +1 to all your spell DCs, and a +1 to any spell damage.
Just let me be greedy here. Okay.
She
I
just
got
wants
it.
to one-shot everything.
Yeah, you want to one-shot everything. Yeah.
She wants the staff of power back.
Yeah, she
Bring
wants her
me
that
staff.
staff.
Right. Well, you're not going to get a staff of power. So, Brad, you find an incredibly ornate, lovely. Well, actually, after it's lovely and ornate once you blow the dust off of it, because it looks like it's been down here for a while. But it's a loot. So same thing. Go to your equipment, go to manage equipment, and search for DOS, DOSS loot. LUTE, not LOOT. Although it is loot. You've looted a loot.
Yeah, what was that? DUSS?
DOSS.
Nothing.
Just type in
Nothing
loot.
for me.
Then.
Just a loot comes up.
Ugh. Well, it should have. It should have like shared everything. Hold on a second. Let me check something out real quick. What? Okay. I have enabled content sharing. So refresh and try again.
Yep. Das Loot.
Yes. It's way better than Das Boot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
exactly
is it
what I was
similar to DOS?
Anyway, it's a really nice loot, and you can read everything that it does. Basically, when you play it, you can cast a handful of spells, which is neat, and you also have a chance to like turn people. They got a DC save of 15 or something like that.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow, there's a lot of spells.
Yeah. So, dun, 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 dun. Okay, Joe. Your eye immediately gets drawn to these bands, and they're like weird, like kind of like just strips of leather. But they're stiff. They're like really stiff leather. But like one of those like little slap bracelets.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get the feeling that when you do that to somebody, it's going to restrain them, which means
Ooh,
you
like
need to
handcuffs
look up.
almost.
You need to look up in your manage equipment.
Yep.
The Iron Bands of Bolaro.
I see it.
Yeah. Except instead of being made of iron, they're made of leather, like a stiff leather.
Okay, yeah.
But otherwise, they function exactly the same.
Okay. Got it.
All right. And now for Nathan. You, amongst all of these like piles of scrap cloth and stuff like that, find some that like you through your blind sight just kind of like radiate like some sort of magic, and that's not like normal cloth. And when you wrap these on your hands, it just like you can feel the power flowing through you. So on yours or on your character sheet, if you see that there's that box off to the left where it has like action spells, equipment, all that other kind of stuff. Do you see that on the character sheet?
I had clicked on equipment, but
Yes. And then there should be a manage equipment button, kind of at the top near the search bar.
Give me a second. Let me go back to my character. Okay. View. So up at the top there.
Yes.
Which tab is it under though? Sorry.
Equipment. There should be an equipment tab.
I see creations, game rule, sources, tools, marketplace, media, forums.
Nope. Further down. Kind
Below
of
that.
like
Below that. Down below your armor class.
Down below you see weapons, tools, see languages. Armor.
kind of on the right.
Do you see where you're? Yeah.
Armor
Do you
class,
see
okay.
where you're?
Yeah, I see now. Sorry, it's my bad. Okay, so I got equipment select.
Yep. And then there
what
should
am
be
I-
manage equipment right there along the right,
Equipment, manage equipment.
like at the end of the search bar.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And what?
Search for Gauntlets of Ogre Power.
Those are good.
6 for 1.
Those are good.
The results found.
Just type in Gauntlets at first.
I swapped the A and the U. Does Adam or?
Yeah,
Yep.
Adam, and then in your once you like collapse that little side window, you should see them there. Checkbox them, and then of course go all the way to the bottom, and where it says attunement, you have to attune to them too, in order for them to take effect. Otherwise, you're just like wrapping them, which takes about 10 minutes.
They give you
Check the
19
box
strength.
and check the box. Cool. Yeah, so my strength is 19 while I have them. That's sick.
Yep.
So my strength bonus is +4 now all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay.
does Sam get? Oh, wait.
Oh,
He doesn't.
He's in the ethereal plane right now.
Just kidding. I was throwing.
Okay, so Heidi, while you were going through everything and you found your and you found your wand. You found your wand in like a stack of like scrolls, basically. I mean, there was like all sorts of like papers and stuff like that. And let's see. Magic items.
Real quick on D&D Beyond, should I click active? Or it does not do anything?
Well, you
Kind of
should.
behind the scenes? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what I need you to do is roll me a d10. Yes, go ahead and roll me a d10.
4.
4. Okay, so you found a scroll that has a spell of dancing lights on it. So just like notate that somewhere. Roll me another d4.
Another D10.
Or sorry, yeah, another d10.
5.
5. You got a scroll of protection from energy. Okay, roll me a d10 one last time.
Sorry, I was writing that.
No problem. A what?
Another 5.
Another 5. You got a scroll of True Strike. Basically, all these scrolls, as soon as you read them, they burn up, but they cast whatever spell it was that I told you. So you could basically have like one cast of each one of those spells. And not just you. Anybody can use scrolls. Scrolls are perfectly okay. However, in this stack of scrolls, you do find one other spell scroll that is different from all of the rest. And when looking at this, it's not a normal spell scroll. It looks more like it's a ritual, but it does. Well, roll me an Arcana first of all.
20.
25. Okay, wow.
20.
Or 20 what?
21.
21. Well, still, that's very good. Okay, so as far as magic goes, in this world and probably in all the worlds where magic exists, kind of like they said in like Doctor Strange, they're kind of like programs that alter reality. So the way spells are written, and you know this because of your one, because you're high Arcana roll, and 2 because you're trained in it. You know that as a base, this spell casts Gentle Repose, which, if you touch the corpse or other remains for the duration, the target is protected from decay and can't become undead. That's like the base. Now, there's all of this extra stuff, and there's, I mean, like, tons of extra, like, steps and words and everything that you know, or actually, you don't really know that much about the Gentle Repose because it's not one of your spells that you know, but you get the general idea from reading the spell scroll. And like I said, there's all of this extra stuff on top of it. Now, with your 21 roll, you pretty much figured out what all this extra stuff does. So, not only does it do Gentle Repose, but it also essentially makes the corpse indestructible. Like, it can't catch fire, it won't break any extra bones, it'll basically remain in the same condition that it's in when you cast the spell until you either decide to end the spell or it gets, resurrected. Because, of course, it can't be turned undead. The second thing it does is, and this is the weird part, but again, you rolled high enough on your Arcana that you figured it out. It turns the corpse into a quote-unquote object. And the second half of the spell is animate object. So basically, what you can do is you can preserve the corpse and then animate it as an object, but not as an undead, and it will follow you around. It won't obey your commands, and it won't do any action other than walk or, move as best as it can near you, and it won't ever be more than like 20 feet away from you.
Okay.
So you have this spell on a scroll, and you can do that on any of the nearby corpses.
And we have a corpse by chance.
Oh, look at that! Are you saying Sam's life is in my hand?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you also have these.
His corpse is in your hand.
You also have these older
His dead life
giant
isn't his-
corpses and these other like
Otherworldly
mind clear
corpses.
corpses. But yeah, Sam's corpse too. Yeah, it's there.
I guess we're hinting at Sam's. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sam, are
He
you
is
ready?
here. He is muted.
Yeah.
He's
here.
there. He is. There he is.
Okay.
I'm dining in Valhalla right now.
Eh,
It's delicious. Let me tell you, Tuscan chicken.
So, as soon as you heard the psychic scream, your mind just kind of gave out. It decided that it no longer wanted to exist on this plane. So everything kind of goes black, like it would if you like fell asleep. But then everything kind of turns gray, and it's gray for a really long time. Or actually,
Okay.
you don't know. You don't really have a sense of time, but it's gray for a certain period, and then all of a sudden you are back in the cave that you died in, except it's completely empty and everything kind of looks like a black and white movie.
Okay.
You feel distant. You feel
There's still corpses there.
no. Like I said, the whole cave is completely empty. It's just blah. So
The cave. Got it.
yeah, it's set up exactly like the same, and you can see like the entrance kind of off in the distance down like the little tunnel that you came in, but otherwise it is empty, like not a thing. Looking at you, you seem exactly as you were at full health, and pretty much as you would be normally, as you were alive, but. Like I said, there's nothing else around you. So you have all of your equipment, you have all of your stuff, and you're quote unquote at full health, but you are in this like black and white movie. So
Okay.
what do you do?
Can I smell anything?
Can't smell. You feel kind of like just a normal temperature. I mean, you can like touch yourself and feel yourself like touching yourself, and you can stomp and like feel the ground beneath you. But you don't have any smell. Sight's all black and white. You can hear like just kind of this like whistling, so there like might be a wind outside, but there's nothing going on in this cave.
Gotta cast my cantrip light.
You find
Just
out
to
your
see if my
spells.
stuff work.
Yeah, your spells aren't working. So, give me a religion check.
Okay. Tuscany chicken and cat. That's a roll of a 15 with +3, 18.
Okay. What you immediately sense and deduce from like where you are is that one, you're in the gray, and the gray is basically the afterlife for the universe that Dark Sun exists in. And this isn't entirely uncommon, but you do notice again that like none of your spells are working, and according to most scripts, this should be right because your soul has departed the plane and you're no longer drawing your power from your sorcerer king. And in fact, you feel that connection just completely severed. There's no more connection to the sorcerer king. However, you also rolled high enough that you know if you. Well, you're not entirely sure how to do it yet, but you might be able to tap into the energy that is the gray. Because basically, the gray is a plane of energy unto itself. It's necrotic energy, but it's
Ooh.
energy.
Okay.
And that you think that will be able to power your spells.
Okay. First, before I do anything like that, I need to go check out the outside of this cave. I want to see what I'm up against here. So I'm going to walk towards the entrance of the cave.
Okay. You walk toward the entrance of the cave, and it's pretty much as you remembered before you died. You're on that island. You walk to the edge, and you find like the silt or the estuary that like comes in from the silt sea, which is silt. And in this particular plane, it's just kind of this misty gray. It's not like silt. It's not water. It's just kind of like looks like a different texture than anything else. But as soon as you try and touch it, it just kind of like your hand waves through it like a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
And you look up and you can see the bridge, and right now it's complete. Like, and you walk around to the other side of the island, and it's complete on the other side too.
It wasn't complete though when
It wasn't complete when you were alive.
went in.
Yeah.
Stone the crow, I say. I'm gonna. Do I see anybody moving? Do I see any movement? Everything just.
Not down here, but if you go up to the bridge, you now.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up to the bridge.
Yeah, you can now kind of make out the faint outlines of not just dwarves, but a whole bunch of people, and carts, and pack animals, and team animals, and like everything else. This is like a bustling bridge, but you can just barely see the outline of everything around whatever being happens to be like walking along.
But okay, so I'm gonna signal one down. Hey.
They completely ignore you. They walk right through you. You walk right through them. If you try and grab one, again, it's just your hand passes.
Is there any way I can roll a religion check?
Not yet.
Oh, man. Okay.
Because you don't quite know that this is happening.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there'd be any kind of sense or whatever,
Well, shit. I guess I'm going to. Being that I can't interact with people, there's nothing I could really see that's worth a damn currently. I'm going to. Oh shit. I guess I'll try to see if I can meditate or commune to find something out within my spirit.
Roll your religion.
16 plus 3, 19.
Okay. In your meditation, and again, you don't know exactly how long you meditated, but when you open your eyes again, did you just like meditate right here on the bridge, or where were you? Did you go back to the
just right here on the bridge? I mean,
yeah. So when you open your eyes again, the bridge is complete, but it looks completely different. I mean, there's like a bridge here, and there's all of these, like, you're not really sure what they are, but they are moving by you at incredible speeds. I mean, like, faster than you've seen anything move before, and they don't have any sort of animal or thing dragging them. They're just like moving by you.
I can't. They just go right through me. I can't.
They go right through you. If you try and stop or wave at them, nobody says anything. You can catch a glimpse of people in them as they pass by, but again, none of them pay attention to you. You can't affect them, and you do notice that they're a tad more solid than they were before.
Are they all going one direction?
No, like half the bridge is going one direction, half the bridge is going the other direction.
Okay.
And you look off into the distance, and both north and south of Ladopolis, or what you assume were north and south of Ladopolis, where they were before, are completely different. There's like buildings taller than you ever seen before, with like little pinpoints of light all over them, just coming out, and like other weird things like flying through the sky. I mean, you guys are kind of used to like flying mounts. They have like the Quetzalcoatl, like basically pterodactyls, like the huge flying mounts, and like really rich people can afford to like breed and like fly on them. But these don't look like those things. You don't even know what they are, but they're like floating through the air around all of these enormous towers on both ends of this bridge.
I'm gonna walk towards would be we came from north.
You came from South Lodopolis.
Came from south. Oh, I thought we came from north. Okay, I'm gonna walk towards North Lodopolis. Then I've already been to South Lodopolis.
Okay, so you arrive, and again, it's like what we would see. You would see like a bustling modern metropolis with streets, street lights, people walking, going about their business, all that kind of thing. Tall skyscrapers, but your character has no clue what any of this stuff is. And anytime you try and interact with it again, you just like kind of pass right through it.
Tall skyscrapers?
Yeah.
Weird. And everything's hustling and bustling.
Mm.
And I can't interact with the fly things either, right?
No. Give me another religion check.
Ooh, that was a poor one. 1.
Okay.
So 4.
Yeah, you can't interact with the flying ones. But you do feel this kind of like thing off in the distance. You feel drawn to this like thing. It seems really far off in the distance.
How far are we talking?
Like you can't even really pinpoint a distance, but like at least by foot, maybe months of travel.
Do I feel tired from it? Am I walking?
Nope.
Any of that? I feel just natural, normal.
You just feel flat. Like
Woof.
it doesn't dip into fatigue. It doesn't dip into excitedness. You're just flat.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna start walking then.
Okay. Okay. So you start walking towards that. Roll me another religion check.
13 this time.
Is that your total, or is that like your base?
Total.
Okay. You start becoming more acclimated to the gray, and you feel like there are certain things that you can tap into the gray. One is you can increase your movement. You're not entirely sure about how much, but you can definitely increase your movement, and you might even be able to travel essentially 3-dimensionally, or fly, what you would consider flying. You might be able to do that. And also from your initial one, there is also your ability to reconnect yourself to the gray that will allow you access to your spells.
So I got my spells back, huh?
Well, you haven't done the ritual yet, but you know of a way, or you feel of a way that you can do it.
Oh.
You said you wanted to hold off on it. You haven't done it yet.
Okay, yeah. What would this ritual require?
A lot of detail that is inconsequential to us, but for you, it would basically just be performing the ritual, which would be another religion roll.
Okay, don't require, getting items or any of that, right?
No, it's kind of like that meditation that you did previously. It's kind of akin to that.
I'm gonna keep walking towards this spot that's calling me first.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm more curious about if I got my power going towards it. I feel maybe I can get a little something more out.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep walking. I gotta know what the fuck's going on here.
Okay, so now make me a charisma save.
Oh yeah. 7. Total.
Okay. Yeah, you walk, and you are walking towards. You're walking in the direction that you feel it, and every time with every step you take, you feel that you're closer. Now, it's only a step out of however many millions of steps that you need to take to get to it, but you are getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and so much so that you just kind of blank out. And when you look, you are well into the wastes. There's all sorts of like mountains surrounding you. Roll me a religion.
Have I haven't even been. I don't know where I'm at. 19.
Okay, so yes, you know that you have walked almost the entire distance that you felt previously towards that object, and it is incredibly close now. You also know that about 600,000 years have passed.
What?
Yes.
600,000?
600,000 years have passed.
Shit.
It's a long time.
Guess I'm the last one alive. Everybody else should be dead by now.
Well, you're not really sure. I mean, like again, the only thing you know is that you're in the gray. And you're discovering what the gray can do because, few people have come back from the gray to see or have spent enough time when they did come back in the gray to actually pass on any information about what goes on there.
I'm gonna keep. If I'm that close to this beacon, I'm gonna keep trudging towards that beacon.
So, only about an hour more walking, and you come to this mountain, and carved into the side of the mountain is this great black tower. And you can feel whatever it is that's drawing you inside that tower.
Does it feel evil?
No, it feels neutral.
Fuck, I'm going inside then.
Okay. So you go inside, and you've never seen construction like this. I mean, this is well beyond like dwarves, anybody. But it's incredibly ornate and incredibly well crafted, like stonework that makes up this entire black tower. In fact, sometimes you think that like it might be made of metal, but you walk up and you touch it and it's stone, and you can actually touch this. I mean, you can like feel it, but I mean it's like so black and smooth and reflective that you can like see yourself in it at some points. And you go through this tower, and it keeps leading you up and leading you up and leading you up and leading you up until you come to what is obviously the top of the tower, because you can see out for like what seems like infinity. And also sitting at the top of this tower, there's like this pedestal, and floating about like maybe 6 inches off the pedestal, right in front of it, is this mace. And it's got this purple glowing head, and it's just kind of like floating there.
What's the head look like?
It looks like kind of like jagged stone, but it's also kind of crystalline, because that's where like the glowing's coming from, like the center, and it's kind of giving off this like black light effect. But it is also like lighting up everything. Like you can see perfect.
Rave party, man, do it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen shit. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I mean,
at least take it. I fucking walk for 600,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a prize out of this. So yeah, I'm gonna walk up to it and grab it by the handle.
All right. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
I was gonna say, roll initiative. Get ready to be double dead.
11. Oh, dude, if I double die.
No. So you take the mace, and when you it won't budge. Roll a religion.
16.
1 second.
Mic off.
Still wanted
Mic
to bring
on.
you to life, but I don't
Okay.
know when.
Sorry. So, what'd you get in religion?
16.
Okay. You know that you'd have a greater, or you just like suddenly feel that you have a greater chance of taking this mace if you connected yourself to the gray.
I'm gonna cast Bless on myself first. If I have my powers back, I.
No, you don't.
Oh,
Like I said,
cast-
you still haven't done the thing to get your powers back.
Oh, I need to actually do the ritual. to get
And
my
that's what I'm
powers
saying.
back.
If you do that ritual, you'll have a greater. Not only will you have all your spells back, but you'll have a greater chance of picking up this mace.
Well, yeah, because I have Bless. Okay, yeah, I gotta do that. I need my Bless. So
Okay, so roll me a religion.
Good.
14.
So yeah, you sit down and you meditate, and then after what seems to you another hour or so,
That's not
you
bad.
suddenly feel all of your spells come back to you.
Mhm.
Basically, you just went through the equivalent of a long
Tingly.
rest. So you've got all your HP back, which you kind of already had anyway, and you've got all your spell slots back. You can cast cantrips. You haven't cast any of your higher level spells yet, but you feel that you definitely could. You are now
Okay.
connected to the gray,
Mm.
and you
Do I
and
feel? What else do I feel? What do my senses feel? Now
you
that I'm
feel
connected to the
now that
gray?
you've actually been connected that hour you were sitting there was actually another 200,000 years.
Fuck.
But you also feel that you can, anytime you want, travel to any point of time on the gray. You
Wow.
basically have this perfect temporal awareness of when you are, and you can travel to any point in time, provided you stay in the gray.
Well, shit. I'm gonna cast Bless on myself, and I'm gonna grab that hammer.
Okay. Roll that charisma save again with your bless added. And actually, you get
Oh,
advantage.
Never mind. I just crit 20'd it.
Okay, well, there you go. So, yeah.
God damn it! All that shit for Bless, and I.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Sam, on your manage equipment, go to your equipment and manage equipment.
Oh yeah, yeah, boy. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Search for the gray mace. Gray, sorry.
Wait, what?
Gray for gray.
Yep, there it is.
Add that. And
What's
you
it
now
do?
have that weapon.
Damn. Oh, you'll find out. I can't spill the secrets of the gray.
I'll look it up.
I'll look it up. Oh,
Okay.
that's my favorite
So,
color.
You, as soon as you pick up the mace and kind of swing it around for a while, not only are you aware of all of the actual mace's ability, but you know that it has a twin in the prime material,
Hmm.
and that the twins are usually attracted to each other. Now, you don't know who owns the twin, or if anybody does, but you do know that it does have a twin, and it exists on the prime material at the moment.
And I can't feel where it's at because it's in the material realm, not the spirit realm.
Exactly. But you are aware of its twin. You are also aware that if you were to be resurrected, then, or some way find your way out of the gray, you could very likely take this mace with you.
Okay.
Probably nothing else, but you could take this mace with you.
Well, since I can teleport anywhere to any time.
Mm-hmm. You basically have full run of the gray.
I'm going to.
The gray is your playground.
I'm gonna go find out the events of the battle. I'm gonna teleport to the time of the great battle.
Okay.
Where the Legion barely beat the Aberrants,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go to that.
Okay. When you arrive, of course, you see the two armies, and the Mind Flayer army is very much like those giants, except you have a wide range of sizes. Like there's one from normal human size all the way up to giant size and everything in between. Now, the rank and file are usually between human and half giant size. Some of the other bigger forces are of giant size, and then you have these ones that look like commanders who are like floating around on these like discs, and they're all robed and they're just throwing magic around like it's nothing. And all of this is incredibly familiar, and as you see it, you kind of remember it. But there is something extra that you noticed that you haven't seen, or you don't remember, because when you pinpoint your location at that point, you're like way at the south end of like the salt meres, and this kind of happened more or less near Bodak. And you know of Bodak. It was one of the great city states up until the Red Times, I think is what they called it. So it's been like in ruins for like a couple of thousands of years. In the middle of Bodak, there is a tear, and you can see it from your position in the gray. And
Jesus.
you know at this point, again with your attunement to the gray, you know that this exists both in the gray, the black, and the prime material. And of course, your character would also know that the black is more or less like the astral plane, whereas this gray is kind of like a mix between the shadow realm and the ethereal plane. So like this is the realm of the dead. The black is kind of like everything that contains this universe that's essentially keeping people from leaving and coming in. It's what the gods did when they turned off the lights and said, "Fuck all you guys."
Okay. Okay.
So you know, like I said, you know the terror exists in the same point in the material, the gray, and the black.
Okay. And as the battle plays out, I want to roll an investigation.
Okay.
It's like I'm hovering above the battle, watching this battle,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to look for anything that could be of value to knowledge.
Define value.
Uh, basically, I want to investigate what created the terror. I want to investigate any weaknesses of these aberrants, and I want to investigate any possible idea of plans, agendas, anything like that. Because
Okay.
going into detective mode, and I am going to stop this crime.
Okay. Roll me an
You
investigation.
also need to see if they have any drugs.
And yes, I got to check if they have drugs on them too. That's
Mhm.
bad.
Drugs, but
Oh shit! It's another 20 crit. That never
Nice.
happens.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Two.
So you find out a lot of things. In your investigation of the tear, let's start with the tear. In your investigation of the tear, you find that some point about 2 or 3 weeks before, there was a breach, and this breach brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beings from another world. One, you didn't know it at the time, but in your investigations and in your connection to the gray and your connection between all the time that happens in the gray, you know that this one being was the orc, and he calls himself Darfu, Shaman of the Wastes. He was the first one through.
So this
Now,
big green creature comes through the portal.
yes, and like I said, throughout all the knowledge that you just possess with the gray, you know that he is an orc, and he's not of this world, because the last orc existed thousands and thousands of years ago, and they were all wiped out by one of the champions of Rajat, whose name I can't remember, but we'll move on.
Okay.
The next 4 who came through were a human paladin, a tiefling warlock, a dwarf druid, and a goblin who has some sort of connection to, or did have some sort of connection to, some sort of weird otherworldly god, but as soon as he passed through here, his connection immediately latched on to like the element of air.
Okay.
And you know that as soon as these 5 beings came through, the tear behind them never closed. Which is why 2 weeks later, that's why the mind flayers show up.
Got corruption spreading.
But they actually showed up at a different tear, and their tear originated in Bodak. The tear that the 5 people came through were in these caves north of Draj.
Okay.
So there's actually 2 tears, but this particular one is one that the Mind Flayer army created because of the weakening in the universe as a whole.
And there's nothing coming out of these tears in the gray right now, is there?
In the gray, no, but you can see lots of, well, not lots, because it takes time and it takes like a lot of magic, and there's not a lot of like living stuff because these mind flayers don't give a shit. They're defiling as much as they possibly can, but being in the middle of a city ruins, there's not much to defile, so their magic is kind of quote unquote weakened. It's not exactly weak, but it's weakened, and they can't quite summon through the tear as many other mind flayers as they would like, but they are summoning some through. And you also see a bunch of captured people from all different city states because they all have like different styles of clothing on. And what happens is one of those like mind flayers, one of the more human-sized ones, would come up and it will like attach all of its like face tentacles onto the face of a human, and you could see because you can like shift your vision to kind of give yourself like X-ray vision, and you can see that they're implanting a seed into like the throat, and it just like sits right there. And after a couple of weeks, they turn into those eggs that you saw the giants turn into. And out of those eggs sprout another mind flayer of varying sizes depending on the size of the person that they originally implanted.
So
Now, as far as weaknesses go, I mean, you don't find any like true weaknesses that are any more exploitative than any other creature. I mean, they're humanoid in shape. You take their legs off, they won't be able to walk. I mean, kind of the same thing. I mean,
well, I mean weaknesses like that. I mean weaknesses for the tears. How to go about closing them.
oh well, you don't think you can do much from the gray alone. You have a sense that like the tears need to be closed on at least 2 of the 3 planes.
Okay.
It might be easier to do all 3, but you have no idea how to get to the black. Like none at all.
Yeah.
You're surprised that you got to the gray.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna need help on this.
Okay. Well, good news is it's now time for the break. So we'll take a quick break and we'll see what happens when we get back.
Excellent, excellent.
What loot did he get?
Hello,
Yeah,
everybody,
okay.
and we're back. So, when last we left, just before the break, Sam had figured out a whole bunch about the Mind Flayer army and where they came from, and all of those sorts of fun things. So,
Ghost cops in full effect, people. Watch out.
So now we draw our attention back to the prime material plane. So you guys are in the cave. What do you want to do?
Check the other bodies, the giants.
They are pretty much the older ones are rotting and very hard to be around because they smell so bad. The more fresh ones that are also like mind flayers are pretty much bare, except for like a leather breechcloth of some large beast that is big enough to cover their junk.
Yeah. I would like to. Can I cut off one of the tentacles on their face, like a small portion of it?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like to. I'm gonna cut off one of the giant. It doesn't matter which one. One of the dead ones. Cut
Yeah,
off a chunk of the tentacle, so there's like a physical proof. And then I'm going to scribe a little note to the obsidian blade of what happened,
Okay.
and proof that there were some sort of creature. Confirm that they were at the salt meres of Bodak in the battle, and then I'm going to. Well, can I summon a bird? Is that a thing?
No, but there's plenty of dead drops back in South Ladopolis. You just gotta
Okay,
walk
yeah.
back.
So, yeah. Once we get back to town, I'm gonna dead drop it.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay.
I
So
was going to do this before we actually looted, but I was going to check out Sam's body.
Okay.
I was going to walk over to Sam's body and attempt to lay on hands on it just to see if I would be able to get him alive. But I know that's not good.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Anymore.
yeah,
I figured
Okay.
Holy symbol.
when
Well, I
you
was
can,
just gonna
you
be-
can
yeah.
sense that there's nothing to the body. Everything is like quote unquote passed on. So
Yeah, it was just the idea, like, oh yeah, he died, but yeah, check that shit out. Like I'm gonna give me some new gauntlets.
Yep.
I was more like, figured we'd have some kind of moment of silence, or at least check his body for loot.
What was his weapon?
it was a mace.
Was what?
It was a mace. I mean, I figure we should take the mace, right? Like, it's just gonna sit here he's not gonna be using it.
Yeah.
And assuming there's a way to resurrect him
I'm
somewhere
going-
down the line, he's gonna need his.
I had
I
a
was
shield
going
too.
to ask what we're going to do about this body,
Yeah, we're gonna like
whether we should bury him.
somewhere. Or...
I stand and I say, I have a. I do it now.
What is your solution, Phelan?
Yeah, you know that the like I said, it's a modified version of Gentle Repose, but so normally Gentle Repose only takes an action, but this is a ritual, so it'll take about 10 minutes to perform the entire ritual, but you can.
I'm gonna fucking ritual his face off. So,
Okay.
It-
All right.
I don't think his face comes off, but
Yeah, the face doesn't come off. In fact, like I said, you
If it-
preserve
in-
him exactly as he is right now, which is pretty battered, but like the majority of his damage came from like psychic damage, so it was like
I'm going to Bernie his face off.
okay.
am I aware of what she's doing right now?
Roll me an Arcana.
18. I don't have any pluses to that. It's just a straight up.
You definitely know that she's doing a ritual, but being completely unfamiliar with the workings of magic, no, you have no idea what she's doing.
Okay. I was gonna say someone should like make him smiling or position his face in a way so he doesn't.
At this time, I'm gonna teleport to the cave
Okay.
in the gray at the
Okay.
exact time of my death.
Okay.
Now I need to catch up on what I've missed.
Okay.
This will
So
kind of catch me up on what's
from your end, you see them like rooting around, and they all get like their little items, and then you see them kind of like gather on your corpse, and you can just barely hear. And roll me a religion.
I also see Malachi's moment of silence.
Yes.
I'll remember that.
Well, it's
I'll
all
remember his
silent
good
right now.
deeds.
Can I
20, not natural though.
Okay.
17 plus
You figure out a way to kind of like hear between. It's kind of like a variation on the talk with the dead. You can basically like hear the prime material. That's what it is. So like all of a sudden their voices cut in, and you hear the elf woman say, "I have a solution," and everybody just kind of like steps to the side, and she starts a ritual. It looks like you can roll your religion to see if you recognize it.
19. Holy fuck, my rolls are
Part of the
hot.
chant is gentle repose, and the other part is animate object, and you're not really sure how those two go together. But all of a sudden, or not all of a sudden, after about 10 minutes, your corpse kind of like sits up straight, and then kind of like looks around, and then like slowly kind of gets to its feet. And since you didn't really have any broken bones from anywhere, you're just kind of like standing, kind of like with your arms slack and your head tilted, like, or your corpse is doing this. It's standing, arms slack,
Okay.
head slightly
Okay.
tilted, and is now looking at like the elf woman.
Mal's gonna kind of poke it / like jab it a little bit, like a hard poke, like right here in the side, and go
It
like,
doesn't react at all.
what's wrong with him? And then he's gonna do it again harder. Then if it doesn't react, doesn't do
Actually,
anything.
with your blind sense, you're kind of having a hard time seeing it because he's not generating any heat. So all you're seeing is kind of like the sound bounce off of his shape. So you just kind of see like an outline of him.
Okay.
You
Well,
can't
I'm
make
just
out
seeing
any
if,
detail on him.
well, you said his head's all cocked and he's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just seeing if he. I just seen a man that was dead get up at least.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm
It's a little
trying to
freaky.
see what's going on with it.
Trying to
Yeah,
see
I'm
what
just like.
the hell's up.
Yeah.
I feel you.
seeing
Real
if I
quick,
can-
Dylan.
I'm seeing if I
Yeah.
get a.
No, he's not making any noise. Doesn't react.
Story continuity.
Yeah.
Can I tell Johnny's character that he should go back to town and
Yeah.
wait for us there?
Yeah, that'd be fine. But I mean,
Okay.
you all are
Did
going
he
back to town
find
anyway.
Did he find anything in the does
Oh,
he
he
get
found
any
something, but
items?
he tucked it in
Okay.
his cloak, and you didn't exactly see what it was.
Okay. So he's gonna leave the cave and go back to town.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to roll that perception check to see if you did see what it was?
I don't care what it gets.
I'm gonna fucking roll that perception check.
Shit.
There you go. I got 11. I got 11 plus 6. So I got a 17.
Let me roll Johnny's sleight of hand for him.
Oh, he has a +3 to it.
He's like, I know.
I'm watching Mortal Kombat Fatalities.
shit.
as we talk- Shit, indeed.
All right. Who rolled perception?
17.
You catch the slight glimpse of a little flat flint disc before tucks away. Anybody get higher than a 17?
No,
Okay, then nobody saw anything.
I rolled a 2.
For perception?
Well, you were casting the ritual. You don't know.
Oh, I don't even.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, and Sam, you all of a sudden feel this like strange need to remain close to your corpse on the gray. You're not really sure how far away you can get from it,
Damn it.
but you feel compelled to kind of stay in the area, not just out of like, curiosity of what happens to your corpse, but there's some sort of mystical compulsion going on that's like kind of keeping you in the
I'm
area.
kind of bound to the area of my corpse.
Kind of, yes.
God damn it. That fucking witch.
Well,
I hate witches.
Now that we have a corpse that's following us, obviously, what do we have a plan for? How do we explain this when we get back to town? Like, if someone
he
tries to speak
pass
to him,
for a living person, or-
yeah. Like, what do we do if someone
He
tries to
looks-
talk to him?
He looks beat up and pallid, as if he's like, very pale. But otherwise, he's not going to be undead. If someone detects undead, they won't detect undead. He basically just looks like a very unresponsive, pale person.
Okay.
So he's like me most days are.
Yeah. How far can I move from my body? I'm gonna attempt.
Do you want to test it?
Yeah, I'm gonna test that shit. See what
Okay,
happens.
give me a
Curious.
religion check.
Da, da, da. Oh, sorry, hold on, that went under my keyboard. 10.
You with your new connection to the gray, you guess that maybe you could get 100 feet, but you're still kind of weary to try. You're like, maybe not.
Did
Does it kind of burn when I do that?
You don't
Is it
know.
burning
You haven't
sensation
tried
when
to
I
you haven't
do
tried to
it?
go away from it. I mean, if you physically want to try, you can.
I'm gonna slowly kind of test this here. I'm gonna see what happens. Kind of float back
Slowly
a
or
little bit.
sprinting?
Okay. You get to about 100 feet, like you kind of guessed, and it feels like you're being pulled, like you're going against an incredibly strong current. Like you can't walk past that because it gets too hard to walk.
All right, back I go.
Yeah. So it doesn't hurt. It just seems like you
Okay.
can't.
Damn it.
But you still have all of this like gray awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can't feel like I can teleport away though either. Like I'm.
No, like I said, when you try to teleport, you go to about like 99 feet, and even though you wanted to go further, you just get to 99 feet, and you're like,
dragon.
oh, yeah, and then go back to your course.
Damn. All right. And I see them. I can kind of hear them.
No, you can fully hear them now.
Oh, I can totally hear them now.
Yeah, because after you did that like little extra religion check, you can now hear between both planes now.
Oh, dope.
Did our mole friend take his holy symbol?
No, I
Did you?
didn't. No, I didn't. But I mean, well, I didn't think of it, so no, I didn't.
Is it part of his body or is it still on him?
Yeah, it's still hanging around his neck.
No.
Oh, okay.
My holy symbol was my shield.
Is
I
he
had it
still
on the
holding the shield?
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, that's what it's. Then it's the shield
And he's still holding the shield, his
Yeah.
corpse.
because it's like strapped to his arm.
Yeah, so I don't need to roll perception to see that he's got a shield on his arm. Okay.
No, he's holding the shield on his arm.
Well, let's. Should we? I mean, I'm thinking we should at least report back to the dwarves at the bridge and let them know what went on here, or do we not want to do that?
Gonna say, I mean, we killed 3 like giant, faceless, kind of things. Does that mean that we don't see anything else around the area? Like, are there
Not
no
in this
more
cave.
giants, kind of thing? Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you guys. What do you want to do as far as like exploring? Do you want to go to more caves, kill more giants? I know we're a party member down, but just whatever you guys are ready for.
I'm tapped out on my key. I need to meditate.
Yeah, so I could use a nap.
Yeah, do a
You
long
can make
rest.
it. You can make it back to town, and you know that in the trade district, there are plenty of inns and brothels. That you can get a long rest at, no problem. But
Okay.
and it's only about like a 30-minute walk back up the mountain to the bridge, and then back to the city.
But should we stop and tell the dwarves on the way back that we have done this?
Yeah,
Might not hurt to warn them.
Right. I mean, they can expect no
Maybe
further
more.
attack from that particular cave. And yeah, there could be more on the island. They should know probably what they're up against.
Is the silt sand still like water?
Yes. It's still very, very like silty. Like it doesn't look clear. It's a mix. It's a mix between both. It's
Yeah.
like 50-50.
it's still there
50%
though.
silt,
Okay.
50% water.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see if it's still there.
All
Okay.
right.
To the dwarves.
Let's head back towards. I mean, we got to go back towards the dwarves to get to town, anyways. Correct.
Yeah.
So let's to the trade district. So let's just head that way.
Okay.
Bring the corpse.
I want to attempt to untie the gold pouch that's hanging around my body's waist.
Roll me a religion.
Damn, 7.
You're unable to do it.
Okay.
But you feel with a little bit more practice you might be able to.
Okay. I'm also gonna try to call out Malakar's name.
Okay.
See what I
roll
can
me a
get
religion
there
again.
too. 8.
Again, you weren't
I
able
get
to do
good
it.
Unable
rolls,
to-
got some bad rolls. It's
You
like-
weren't able to do it, but you
Okay.
feel like with more practice you could.
Okay. All right. I gotta keep at it. Keep at it. Go, Scott.
All right. Well, let's roll.
So, are you going to stop at basically the sheriff's office, or do you want to stop at that one office with the analyst?
Analyst.
The
is kind of
analyst is
big,
going to
but
do
yeah.
anything for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless the sheriff.
Okay. You talk to the sheriff, and he's surprised, but he also says,
Can I show him a bit of that tentacle that I have?
Oh yeah, I mean, he like looks at it, and he doesn't have any idea what it is, because nobody knows what these creatures are.
Right.
Have you ever seen these before?
No.
I've
Nope.
never heard of them or seen them yet.
No.
I'm gonna come up to the analyst guy, and I'm gonna try to whisper, taste it into his ear.
Well, I don't think they passed close enough to the analyst that you could get to him. But you could
We're talking
try
to the
with the
sheriff
sheriff.
guy right
I thought they were talking to me.
No, they
Alright,
went to
my
the
bad.
sheriff. They went to the sheriff.
I was watching Mortal Kombat fatalities. All right, so to the
Mhm.
sheriff, I'm gonna whisper in his ear to taste it. Taste the tentacle.
roll
Roll a
roll a
religion.
religion.
Oh fuck, that's a 21.
Okay.
That actually worked.
You know enough to make yourself heard. So before you whisper, you know he's going to hear you. It's like it's another little power you've unlocked. But you
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
he's actually going to believe you or do what you actually say. Now, you could cast a spell like command, suggestion.
No, I just wanted to whisper. I'm just testing the waters here with my powers.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
Okay.
It's not that I actually.
So like yeah, Joe shows him like the vial
I'm a good guy.
and you whisper, "Taste it." And he's like,
What?
Because
"I'm not going to taste
funky
this." And
look
he hands
to
it back to
everybody.
Joe.
I'm not fucking tasting this. What are you, crazy?
I'm not going to taste it either. Why are you trying to get me to taste it?
You just said the word taste it.
No, you said it.
I didn't say anything about tasting anything, man. You better-
Somebody said it. I distinctly heard someone whisper in my ear, and he turns around and he sees Heidi. It's like, did you do it?
I didn't say it.
It did sound like
I
a
just-
woman's voice.
I just want it to be noted that Mal does the snake eye thing, even though he's blind, and just goes, "Hmm." And then does one of these. "Hmm."
Even though moles being
I,
half dwarves don't have any hair, just like dwarves, you don't have a beard.
No, yeah, I don't have the beard. I'm just
Just doing it.
pensively rubbing my. Hey, man, I mean, how much do you see me rubbing my chin?
I'm gonna tell him that he may need to go to the infirmary if it's not good.
Whatever. He's like, but all this makes sense. I mean, like, we haven't seen a giant in like 3 weeks.
Well,
Makes sense.
from the cave that we came from, you ain't gonna see shit coming out of there. Everything's dead.
So we hear this whisper, and no one questions the corpse that we have with us.
No. Did we hear the whisper?
No, only the dwarf did.
Only-
Sam was only whispering to the dwarf.
Yeah.
But he didn't question the corpse we have with.
Well, the
Let me
corpse
see, let me
was
see if he
like-
actually notices it is a corpse.
Well, it was a whisper, right? So it would be
Yeah.
the person that was closest to him that he would think whispered it to him.
Which is either you or Joe, because you're kind of standing behind him. No, he hasn't even like glanced at the corpse.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we just wanted to let you know what was going on and what we encountered, and show you a little bit of evidence so that you would believe us. And we're gonna be on our way.
All right, thank you for the information.
Good luck on the bridge. We may be coming back through here at some point, so I would hope that you allow us passage through.
Oh, definitely. And without the giant threats, it might be a lot of people passing through here.
Okay.
All right. Sweet.
Okay, so like I said, they're over in the trade district. Not only are there a whole bunch of shops, there's also a whole bunch of inns, bars, taverns, brothels. You name it, it's probably there.
Girl
Maybe
needs
a little bit
drink.
more like the Wild West version of it, but yeah, it's there. What'd
I
you
go
say,
to the
Heidi?
nearest bar. I go to the nearest bar and order myself the biggest beer they have.
Okay.
Mead.
Well, it is
I,
it is a dwarven town, so they have lots of very large beers.
I'm gonna do my dead drop on the way, assuming that there is one on the way
Oh yeah,
to a
there's-
bar. Okay.
Do you want people to see you drop it off, or do you want to be clandestine? about it?
I want to be clandestine about it.
Then roll me a stealth.
Roll of stealth. 18 plus 7. I think I got it.
Oh yeah, no one sees you.
Okay. Or is that a sleight of hand? Either way, 18 plus 4. It doesn't matter.
It's kind of a combination of both, but we'll just leave it at stealth.
Okay. No, yeah. So I dropped my almost like UPS package rolled up in paper and a note and all that bullshit to it.
Oh, you know the protocols. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, does anybody else follow Heidi to the bar besides Sam?
I was going to be hanging around the two, yeah.
Don't want to follow to the bar.
Okay. Heidi, you also
Ruin
noticed.
Sam like the
You also
bitch.
well, okay, when you went to the bar, okay. So when you went to the bar, did you just go up to the bar and order, or did you like sit at a table, or where are you exactly in the bar? It's basically your standard setup. There's like a bar proper, and then like a whole bunch of tables with like, various numbers of chairs around them.
Depends. Am I just gonna go be an alcoholic by my
Maybe because no one else has said anything.
I was going to go there, but I wasn't going to sit with
motherfucker?
I'm
I
following.
was just gonna go to the bar, get a beer, go to a table, and just like.
I hope your blind ass
slam
runs
back
into a.
and
Uh,
just straight up.
All right, I'm gonna go sit at a
Okay.
table. If anyone wants to join me, they're welcome to. But I'm at a table right now, just sipping on that beer.
I wasn't saying a thing. He's just getting hammered.
does anybody sit with Heidi's or sit with Phelan?
What do I see in the
I will
bar?
sit with Phelan.
Okay.
Hey, where's
This
Linus?
one is a long rest if I get
Yeah,
hammered enough
I'll
to
go
pass
sit
out
with
at the
Steve,
table.
Okay.
It should.
I got
Basically the
Pretty
same
good.
thing.
Linus sitting with me too. I got
Okay.
my little.
So
Cool fam.
you guys find like a table with like 4 chairs, and you like each take a chair.
Does the
As-
corpse get a
as is
chair?
custom. No, the corpse stands right behind you. Again, just like arms dangling, just kind of like staring off.
Shield hanging.
Yeah.
I just pulled a
Living
Crown
his
Royal
best
bag out of a Crown Royal
Wow.
and a D20 out of that Crown Royal bag and some gold coins.
The country edition.
Country edition.
So I'm just
Yeah,
pounding
you
back
got
my beers.
Oh, dude, baller! God, I want that.
Yeah, I bet you does.
Sam.
Yeah, I am actually. That's the dopest. Yeah.
Sam, of course, since you can't be like 100 feet away from them, you are in the bar. Over in the corner, I mean, like, as soon as you enter, you see, like, basically a standard bar. There's a spattering of dwarfs. This isn't, like, the most crowded bar in the trade district, but there's definitely some people here. And over in the corner, you see, like, in this kind of, like, booth, there's, like, 4 dwarves, but the 5th one is actually on the gray. And he's just sitting there, kind of like,
How far away is he?
oh, he's on the other side of the room. He's definitely within your 100 feet range.
Okay.
When you're in the gray, can you drink?
I can't eat or drink or sleep. I'm fucking cursed to just walk this land as a tortured soul. Is that about right, Dylan?
Tortured, yes, tortured.
It's terrible here.
Yeah,
Trust me.
You're a
I want to
grimdark.
call out to the dwarf.
Well, you have a friend.
You're a grimdark edgelord. Now shut up.
Dark. I like the sound. Oh yeah, there's my other crown. God, I got a lot of Crown Royal bags. Yeah, I'm gonna call out to the dwarf real quick.
He's like, whoa, you can see me?
And say, hey, what are you doing over there?
What are you doing over there? You can see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Why wouldn't
Wow.
I be able to?
I don't know. I've been like this for months. I've just been doomed to follow these fuckers around. Nobody can hear me. Nobody can talk to me. I can't talk to them. Everything's fucking black and white. What's going on? Why are you here?
You have to follow them around.
He's been failing his religion checks, Sam.
He's been failing him a lot. Poor bastard. I know how that feels.
He said yeah, I'm compelled to stay next to that pickaxe that one's holding. He points at like one of the dwarves, and he has like a pickaxe. And do you speak Dwarvish?
I will cast tongues. Now I do.
It allows you to speak, but doesn't allow you to read. Comprehend language will allow you to read.
Damn.
But so you don't have to like expend the spell slot. That's why I'm saying if you have comprehend languages, that'll work.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's got some like dwarven writing like scratched on like the side of the handle, but you can't read it. He's like, yeah, and the dwarf on your side of the gray points at it. He's like, yeah, that's my pickaxe. I can't be further than like 20 feet from that pickaxe. It's driving me crazy.
Fuck, that's miserable.
They didn't even bury
how
me
you
properly.
feel. What do you mean? Where did they bury you?
They just left my body out on the fucking side of the bridge.
That's abuse of a corpse. Every corpse should be buried. It's against the
You're
law.
right. You're right. And, it doesn't help that, like, I don't know. I mean,
But
so
he
where
was
are
just
we?
he had a warlock.
I'm the name's Ezekyle. What's your name, friend?
Jobus.
Jobus. Jobus, I'm gonna try something. We're gonna get your corpse buried. We'll see if that helps you.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over by Malachar, and I'm going to say, the dwarves over in the corner there. I'm not gonna announce who I am or any of that. I'm just gonna say to him, like if I ghost it into his mind or however that. I'm gonna say to him, the dwarves over there in the corner. Their friend died a couple of weeks named Jobus, and they didn't bury him, and that is a crime.
I don't know
Okay.
where to take that
Nathan,
besides
roll-
getting pissed off.
roll a religion check.
Okay, so that's 6. That's total.
Total 6. You have no idea what the fuck just happened. You're like, holy crap! Who's talking to me? What's going on?
Who the fuck was that? Just clear this out. Then that's about That's what.
You guys hear your mole companion like shout, "Who the fuck was that?"
Well, shit, Jobus. I can communicate
Heidi,
to him, but it's hard.
or Brad, if you have Arcana, you can roll it.
Yeah, I have 3 arcane.
Oh shit, Brad knows. 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yours was slightly easier because you actually like cast the spell, but both you both know that in casting the ritual, you probably bound what amounts to his soul to something on the corpse, and therefore it can't get. You're not really sure how far. It can get from the corpse. And then Brad, with your 20, you know that people or dead souls from this plane move on to the gray and have sometimes been known to communicate from the gray to people on this plane. And having just recently lost somebody and been affected by that spell, that might have been Sam that was talking, or that might have been Ezekyle that was talking to Malachar, even though Malachar didn't realize it.
Heard the whisper.
You didn't hear the whisper. You just heard him say, "Who the fuck was that?" and like looked around. But with your natural 20 Arcana roll, you just kind of pieced all this together.
Okay, guys. Is someone trying to communicate with you, Matt?
I heard something, but I'm not sure what it was.
Heard something?
Yeah. Oh, and
I
Sam, you
think
can hear all
Ezekyle
this.
might be
I
around.
hear
So
this?
did I
You hear all
actually
this.
hear the words that were said though, or
Oh no, you
was
heard them
I
absolutely
just
clear. They were just at a whisper
okay?
in your ear.
So he said the name of the dwarf. I had forgotten the name of the dwarf,
Jobus.
right? But he
I yell it. Jobus, damn it, Jobus!
uh,
I'm getting frustrated.
a voice had told me that the four dwarves over there had a friend that they didn't bury correctly.
It's a crack.
His name was Jobus, and I was just so startled by the voice all of a sudden, and I couldn't find where it came from. And that's right there.
Guys, I think this might be trying to communicate with us. He might be still around.
I mean, he's right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's spirit. Smart ass.
With that being said, I'm going to turn around and reach into Ezekyle's gold pouch that's around his waist and grab some ceramic pieces and say, well, drinks are on him tonight.
Drinks on Ezekyle. May he R.I.P.
And then I would like to just, peek over towards these dwarfs that you mentioned.
I was going to say, Mal is going to say, so Ezekyle was saying that those four dwarves have a friend that hasn't been buried, and he's going to, push himself up really fast, and he's just going to head over to those four dwarves. Not exactly, like threateningly. He was just going to walk towards them, and he's going to walk up to. I imagine they're having some kind of conversation.
Yeah, they're all just kind of like, focused inward on their booth and like, talking amongst themselves. Every once in a while, one of them will laugh at a joke or something, but like they're mostly keeping to themselves at their booth.
He's gonna say, or Miles gonna say, what were you gonna say?
No, I'll go ahead.
Part? Okay. He was gonna say, Miles was gonna say, and sorry, I had it.
Well, you are drunk.
No,
Has been drinking.
Yeah, right. Well, he was gonna say, excuse me. A little bird told me that you guys had a friend named Jobus. They got in a little accident.
Like
I'm gonna start looking over there and moving slightly towards him.
Like they're just like the whole table's mood just completely changes, and it changes in different ways. Like the one kind of sitting on the edge, he starts like white knuckling his tankard. Or like the little ceramic, mug that they have things in, and you can almost with your super hearing, you can almost hear it start to like crack under the pressure. The guy sitting next to him starts like looking around and is like seemingly incredibly guilty. The guy sitting next to him is just quiet and looking off like he's annoyed by this whole thing. And then the one on the other end of the booth, basically sitting across from the angry one, it picks up has this pickaxe in his hand and then starts kind of like petting it, and you see him shed a single tear.
Nice. Okay, so Mal's going to grab the table and kind of lean over it, and he's just going to. I'm not the kind of man who repeats myself.
Oof.
And I was going to say, can that be an intimidation check? Like,
sure.
Can I?
Roll intimidation.
19 plus. That's a strength modifier? So
No,
that's
charisma.
No, it's charisma.
Charisma.
Oh, charisma. So that's a +2 then, or
Yeah.
yeah.
21.
So that's 21. So is that a pretty sick?
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I want to hear one of these dwarves speak up. Yeah, like.
The one holding the pickaxe that was like crying. He's like, yeah, we were walking across the bridge, and he didn't see the do not walk sign, and he just walked right on the bridge, and he just starts crying. He's like bawling. He's like, I wanted to go get him. And then the angry one's like, you shut your fucking face. He did not get what he deserved. He was always shirking on his duties. He never completed any work. He always cut the stone at a wrong angle, and he just goes off on all this like list of grievances.
Bam! Just slams it. Mal just slams his fist down and said, "Is that worth not burying a man for?" And just like what is just dead eyeing him right now with his dead eyes. and is just staring at him like, "Are you serious right now?" Like, you know what I mean?
The crying one cries even more now. Not out of fear, but you think out of like genuine loss for his friend.
While staring at the angry one though, and just hearing the crying, he's just nodding at him, just like, just like, you
the
see
angry
that?
one kind of like leans
what's
back
happening to your
and crosses his arms and says, "It's a fair fate."
Dylan, real quick, would I know, like, for my time in the Gray and the knowledge that I've built up about the Gray, would I know if destroying that pickaxe released Jobus from
you would
hole?
think that it would definitely release him.
Or would it destroy it?
No. It won't destroy Jobus's like soul on this end of the Gray, but it will kind of destroy his connection to this group to where he can at least wander off in the Gray. You think if proper burial rituals were done, it would also allow him to feel that guidance that you did that drew you to the mace, but it wouldn't draw him to the mace per se. It would draw him to where he should be in the Gray. Like,
but he'd be free from being bound.
Yes, essentially, yes.
All right, I'm gonna float over by Linus.
Well, you can
and
just walk.
Okay.
No, I'm in the Gray. I'm a ghost. I'm
Alright, fair
floating
enough.
this.
Float then, you fancy pants ghost.
But I'm gonna tell Linus to either destroy the pickaxe or bury the body.
You hear this
We'll
voice
bring
in your head,
justice to
but with your
corpse.
previous Arcana roll, you know that it's probably Ezekyle saying that to you. Oh shit! What happened to Heidi?
Should go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, okay, never
Can
mind.
I actually cast command on that asshole dwarf that just seems to have no feeling?
You can't hear in a second.
I just want. Okay.
You can't hear in a second. But Brad, what'd you do?
Gotcha.
What are you
just
going to do
wanted
with that
to
new
know.
information?
I'm gonna take that walk over, and it's the crying guy that's holding the mate or the pickaxe.
Yeah, he's just like cradling the pickaxe, and he's like, nobody cares. I loved him.
I want to sit down next to him and just kind of have a private conversation with him between me and him, so the other dwarves can't really hear.
It's a very small booth. It's going to be kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, it's okay if they overhear. But
Alright.
it just kind of quiet, kind of like a whisper between, not really a whisper even, just a little private conversation between me and him. And basically you just look at him and say, I need that pickaxe. Your friend is being tortured at the moment, and I believe I can help him.
He's being tortured. What about me? This is only half of him anymore.
This would be perfect for me to cast my command at this moment.
Okay, go ahead and cast your command.
Yeah.
I just want to cast my command and say, empathize.
I
like it.
Just get that asshole dwarf just bawling his eyes out.
I'm going to allow it. Oh, man. I rolled a 3, so it probably didn't beat your DC. He sits there with his arms crossed for a second, and his mouth goes all. He starts kind of grinding his jaw, and then his lip starts quivering, and then eventually he's like, "I loved him more. He was my boyfriend first, and you stole him from me, you asshole." He's like, "No!"
The plot thickens.
No, it does.
So anyway, the two on either end are bawling, and the one who was kind of rolling his eyes at the beginning kind of is he can't completely stand up because he's kind of trapped in the booth, but nonetheless he kind of stands in the booth, and he's like, "Now you've gone and set them both off. What the fuck? I'm gonna go get another beer." And he walks across the table, jumps off, and goes to the bar.
Nice.
I'm gonna eyeball Jobus and be like, "What the hell were you into?"
Whatever.
I mean, I'm not judging, but
You are pretty judgmental, man. That's your thing.
Yeah,
Hey.
I mean, you are ghost.
We're religious people. We're conservative people.
it's true.
So at this
I only
point,
judge
I'm gonna
law.
I'm gonna grab one of my blades and just put it in his side and say, "You're gonna give me that pickaxe, and we're gonna bury that body and set him free."
Roll
Yeah, 'cause
intimidation then.
now we have the dwarves outnumbered.
22.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of like shoves it over to you, and then like scoots into the empty space, like where his one friend like left. He's like, "Oh, take it."
All right, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
All right. Do you speak dwarf or read dwarf specifically?
I do not know.
Okay. All right. So
I'm just gonna take it and walk.
You're gonna walk away?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a lot of crying at the table.
Okay. Can I make when I cast minor illusion as my cantrip?
Yeah.
How bit of what kind of show do I have to put on to do it? Can I do it discreetly?
No, people are definitely gonna know you're gonna cast a spell. So because you don't have subtle spell like sorcerers do, so you won't really be able to hide it. It's pretty obvious that you're gonna cast it. Okay, so
I'm just gonna keep on drinking.
So you were originally sitting more than 20 feet from this. As soon as Brad walks away, Jobus is like, "Oh," at least like, "Oh shit," and he like gets drawn over to like wherever Brad's sitting. But you, Sam, are still
is Mal still standing in front of him?
Well, no, Mal. What are you doing?
Mal is so he was nodding his head at the guy crying, just going, "Mm-hmm." That's exactly what he wanted. He wanted that guy to empathize. He had seen that. Sorry, I always forget your monk's name. He'd seen that the monk had told the guy, like, "We're going to go bury your friend," and he's just like, he's turned that "mm-hmm" into a "mm-hmm," and he's just like really nodding his head, and he is really just waiting, like, when are we going to get this party started? Like when are we going to bury this body?
So I'm gonna kind of motion to everybody over.
Unfortunately, none of them really know. They know where he fell off the bridge, but he fell into like basically the silt estuary. And
so he's buried.
Well, probably not because
I would consider that buried.
Yeah, he's underground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like again, like I said,
it's an unmarked grave.
It's no longer really silt. It's silted water, so he's not really underground. He's underwater.
I'm before I get up to go over towards Linus, I'm gonna get a little elbow into the gut of the corpse of Ezekyle and say, "Thanks for the drink, buddy," and get up.
Now, actually, I don't even care because I don't need them. What does gold do me? It doesn't do me, or ceramic does me nothing.
I turn to the corpse and I cheers at him, and I'm like, "Oh, wait."
So now that I've had a good laugh and I've gotten to understand that I could speak to people, kind of got that power worked out as well. While they're handling this, I'm gonna tell Phelan that the key to the mine, or a clue to the mine flayers, is in
Is it where?
Bollock. Isn't that where it was?
No, Bodak.
Bodak, yeah.
So we kind of already know that. So.
Yeah. Heidi, roll a history.
Would you say?
Saying we kind of know that.
Oh, do you?
Well,
my history is
well, we're heading to the Saltmires of Bodak, right? Because
yes,
we knew
but
that the
Bodak
battle
specifically is the ruins kind of on the edge of the Saltmires, like the coastal edge. It's It's a specific place in the salt mirrors, but yeah. And what
I
did you
rolled
say? 21?
just a 20 history.
Just a 20. Okay, so yeah, you've definitely heard of Bodak because it's like I said, it's a major site in the Tablelands, so you've definitely heard of the city. But with that roll, you also know that it is a ruined city, and most accounts have said that it is rife with undead. Like the whole city is just nothing but a necropolis. So like the city of the undead, essentially. And there have even been rumors, but even with your really high history roll, none of it's confirmed because history's all kind of fuzzy in Dark Sun. But there are rumors that it's even controlled by a lich.
A lich?
Shit. Share that information if you would.
It wouldn't,
Yeah.
and no one was near me.
What I explained to Heidi though is about. I just tell her, that the clue to the mind flayers is there. The tear in space is there. I'll add that in there too as well, so she could share that with people.
The tear was what? You cut out for a second.
Is in
The
city.
tear is also in the city.
Okay. So I gather my people because they're nowhere around me, right?
They're scattered
I'm
all over
next
the
to you.
bar.
I'm next first.
Okay,
I'm by the
so then
corner.
I call everyone else over. I call Linus over. I call Blindy because he can't see me, so I have to yell for him. Yeah, that's you. Come on over.
You gonna
He's
take
the
that
easiest
shit?
name to remember.
I mean, I don't give a shit about what people call him. He's the one that no one wants to drink with.
Touche.
So be like, I know it's him, right? You know
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like his voice, and from what Brad was saying earlier, you guys kind of pieced it together. And so, yeah, you are pretty sure it's Ezekyle speaking to you from the gray.
Okay. So everyone gathers up around the table. Be like, I believe Ezekyle just talked to me. I have some information. He informed me that the tear was originating in town. So just
The tear. I don't know. Like, yeah,
I don't
it's
know how to
partially
word
original.
it. Yeah,
There's
like
a tear in Bodak. The city of Bodak has a tear where the mind flayer.
Yeah, the city of Bodak has a tear where the mind flayers are coming. And Ezekyle is informing me of this information. I was also informed that there could be a lich.
Can I just say that every single one of you are talking about hearing this guy? You saying that this corpse somehow you cast a spell and is walking around with us. That's I'm elbowing it. Nothing's happening. I can take his gold right from him. He doesn't. You're saying that he's talking to you.
That's why I'm confused right now.
Well,
I'm still a little caught off.
See that?
Because
But it was
he's not doing shit. He's standing here.
There's like his spirit. He is somewhere. He whispered. That's why I'm a little caught off guard right now.
Go for the second command, defecate, Sam. Make him a believer.
Would I know if my spells can cross realms?
You haven't quite tried that yet. You know your spells can definitely work in the gray, but you haven't tried them piercing through yet.
The information I received, same with Linus, is it's Ezekyle. There's no way he was there. No, other than
this corpse here's spirit is running around and can tell you that
fucking guy right here.
So here's what I want to do, Dylan. Here's what I want.
Okay.
This sounds crazy. It sounds like
I'm
everybody's
sure
fucking
there's a
losing their mind.
bartender walking around.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to possess that bartender.
Okay, roll me a roll. First of all, roll me a religion.
10.
You almost had it,
Yeah.
but again, it's going to take more practice.
Okay. I'm gonna then try. I'm gonna
talk to Joe, can't you?
Yeah, but I want to make it more convincing, Joe. Hard to convince.
Okay, well, this will be
I'm gonna command
this
the
will be the
bartender
last
then.
action for the night. So,
Okay.
what you gonna do?
I'm gonna command the waitress. Like, does the bartender have like a drink in her hand?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm a commander to toss it at Joe. Just toss and point towards Joe.
Okay.
She probably can't
Roll me
see
a
where I'm
religion.
pointing, but fuck. I rolled a 1.
Nope.
It always happens.
All I'm saying is
You
every single one of
see-
you sound like fucking crazy people right now.
You see
Yeah,
her
it's hard to believe the
spirit.
corpse.
You see her spirit kind of like wiggle back and forth, and like her spirit almost like throws something, but physically she doesn't do anything. She just keeps on walking.
Okay,
So again,
I'm
with
gonna
more
go to Joe
practice,
then.
With more practice,
I'm gonna
you
go
might
to
be able to do
Joe
it.
and say, "You owe me for the ceramic you took."
Okay.
In
And
his ear.
that's where we'll
Just say
stop.
that. I know that works.
Did I hear it though?
Oh yeah, you
Did I hear it? I
you
did,
heard it.
did shit my pants. And I look around and I say, "Never mind." I just
Okay.
put my head down.
So, yeah, we got a little bit of a late start. Had some people missing or had to go do some errands, but nonetheless, we completed this section. As usual, or at least for the foreseeable future, we will be here same time next Tuesday. So join us then. And here in a little while, or probably at least by tomorrow, I'll have this up on YouTube, or again, you can come to this channel and watch it on videos. Don't forget to follow the channel and donate if you can. All donations are appreciated. And other than that, does anybody else have anything else to add? Joe, how is the chat going from what you saw?
It's fine. Forja Valley suggested that we eat the corpse, but that's his typical. That's
Yeah.
his typical thing. So
He loves to cannibalize.
he loves to eat the corpse.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He plays.
And unfortunately, the part of the spell that Heidi cast on it makes it completely indestructible. So you can't really,
I put that in the chat. Yep.
yeah, you can gnaw on the corpse, but it won't do anything. So, anyone else?
Mm-mm.
All right.
I will bid everybody adieu for the night.
Be
Thank you.
All right.
continued.
Another
See you guys
So I
next
still
week.
want my nap.
See you next
You still
week.
want your what?
My
Bye.
nap.
Oh yeah, do we rest?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
See you next
So
week.
yes, the night is pretty much going to wind down. You're going to go to your respective rooms in either the tavern or another close by inn, and you're going to get a long rest. So when we meet next time, everyone will be full.
And I cleaned out my robe. Correct.
Follow-up question. Can I lock the corpse outside my door so he's not staring there watching me?
He has to
No.
stand there and watch you sleep.
He's standing there watching you sleep. This curse goes both
Good
ways, Heidi. This curse goes both ways.
Excellent.
And signing off.
All right.
Nice.
See you guys next week.
So,
All right.